They'll be calling you a radical. I should have done this video long before, but so I have AML. I did have AML, leukemia, multiple myeloma with a marker of 44, de novo, presented in tumors wrapped around my lower bowel, misdiagnosed. The survival rate of what I had is less than 1%. I wear a 1% survival bracelet. I remember a woman came into my room. I was in LDSE state bone marrow transplant off and on for 5 years. Devastating disease and diagnosis. I was so perfectly healthy, had $1 million of Tesla and Apple stock in the stock market, summer of 2011, and the freight train hit me in October of 2011, just bang. I went from 170 pounds to 130 pounds so fast. Misdiagnosed. Leukemia can present in tumors, which it did, wrapped around my bowel looping. Extreme pain. Of course, that extreme pain probably the reason it got figured out. But so into a bone marrow transplant unit on 11/11/11. I remember a woman came into my room. I was about 2 years into the fight, and she says, "Kevin, I understand you're an AML leukemia 1%er survivor." I says, "So far, I got a long way to go." They don't even start using the, oh, you dropped your dry cast container. They don't even start talking about the C word until you've 12 years, for real. It's that hard. She says, "You do know if you survive this disease." I'm a AML leukemia survivor. I'm 20-something years. She says, "You will be the most, people hate us." She says, "You're going to live a very, very lonely life. Really a lonely life." I'm like, "What?" She says, "When you're sick and you're sucked up, you got no hair, you're fucking down to nothing, you're skinnier than hell, blisters on your tongue, pigment burned out of your eye, people will flock around you. They'll, join with your fight. But as soon as you gain your weight back, your color comes back into your eyes, your hair grows back, and you're still fighting, not only will they just run away from you, they will hate you." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Me and her talked for a long time. She says, "People hate radical cancer survivors. They hate us." I'm like, nah, I didn't really believe her. Oh, I know now. She says, "You're going to live one of the loneliest." I says, yeah. And I talked to her, what she thought. She says, "Well, what are the fundamental foundations of human beings?" Almost all of them. I said, "Jealousy and greed." There you have it. Huge amount of survivors end up in divorce because the finances of it. I don't give a fuck if you got great insurance. Don't matter. When these bills are millions of dollars, 10% copay, 20% copay, and the fight goes on for years. You don't just walk out of it, "Oh yeah, I'm cured." It doesn't work that way. So you're financially ruined, and I mean ruined. Especially, I think the divorce rate of AML leukemia survivors, males, is so giant, so big. I sat in there, I was head of those support groups for a long time, and when people were dying, I saw man and woman. "I can't believe this is happening to me." This is the wife. "I can't believe this is happening to me." This is the husband. I'd say, "It's not happening to you. It's happening to them. Go sit with." They wouldn't sit with them as they passed away. I used to sit with a lot of people as they passed away. It's hard. Those nurses are so fantastic down there. I don't know how they do it, man. But they're the greatest. So I want to put this up. They hate us. And is it jealousy? Hey, jealousy. Hey, jealousy. Hey, jealousy. So it becomes a very lonely fight. Very lonely fight. I'm about getting ready to go mile walking. And the recovery's a long recovery. You spend at least 3 years getting the chemo out of your body. Diet and the arrogance, because my YouTube site and my place and whatever, but the arrogance of Americanos is everybody's got a cure. I mean, I have people to this day telling me how to fucking survive AML, leukemia de novo. I says, what are you telling me for? You should ask it. I got a friend who's just been diagnosed. So I reached out to him and I'm like, hey, I'm a 1%er. I'm an AML leukemia survivor. Yeah, I know. I says, you want anything I can do for you? Any advice? Whatever? Nope. I'm in good hands with these docs. I'm like, okay. There it is. That's the arrogance. They don't give a fuck. They hate us. And I remember her. She's still alive, by the way. I reach out to her once in a while. She'll pep talk me. I know a couple 1%ers. There's 2 or 3 of us, and yeah. So walk this way. That was the flipping the soup can behind my back. So the fight is so dynamic. I mean, I think that is, my doctor says I'm the greatest miracle in his 40-year career, and I did it without a transplant because I was too sick, walked the ocean. And I think the dynamics of the fight is the survival of the fight. I developed that soup can flipping behind my back while I was walking, whatever, because it's so dynamic. Diet, oh fuck. Especially in those fucking first several years. Oh my God, whoa. Intense. I'm a big juicer. I juice almost every day still. Back then I was all on the beet juice. Now I'm on the carrot juice. But, walking. I do a lot of walking. It's very, very, very lonely. It's really lonely. You're not going to get into new relationships once you've had this. It's almost impossible because you're financially wrecked and your mind completely changes. How you think, oh boy. If that doesn't change you, how you think and what you do, then something's really fucked up with you. But there's not many of us. These radical, I mean, there's lots of cancer survivors, but I'm not talking about cancer survivors. I'm talking about the really radical, fuck, you're going to die. Where the doctor looks at you and it's fucking very, very, very little. Those type of guys. And women. Walk this way. So I wanted to put this up. I think about my journey, our journey. I'm a very communal person. I really try to help anybody I can out any way I can. That's another thing. I was talking to back then when I had a cancer sacrifice before Trump, Biden, all of them, destroyed my Medicaid. I had $1 million of Tesla and Apple stock in 2011. Think about that. Fuck, what that'd be worth today? Hundreds of millions, but it wasn't meant to be. I was uninsured. Got kicked off Medicaid. Really open heart surgery twice. The chemo's taking out my valve. No safety net to where I'm telling them my valve's failing. After they replaced it, open heart surgery, and they wouldn't listen to me. Oh, it's neuropathy. Oh, it ruptured. I've had an artery harvested out of my leg. I've lost almost all my teeth, which the doctors told me that would happen. I had good teeth. I still have some. I lost my gallbladder. My esophagus got fucked up from the heavy fucking chemo, but like my doctor says. And by the way, radiation and chemo are 2 different treatments, very different. And the chemo they use these days are not your father's chemo. Literally, they're not. Radiation treatment, I had very, very little radiation. I have 4 tattoos up me, little dots. Dr. Thompson, I was his very last patient. And Fimbo, my daughter, says I want very little. I don't like the radiation treatment, and it's much better now. They target cells. But I had RCM squared. I had 3 heavy rounds. They wanted 5, but my body couldn't take it anymore. And it worked. Of course, I took out a lot of things, but like my daughter says, Kevin, with what you went through in that bone, you would have been, this obvious. I says, I know, obviously he's dead. I went from 170 to 119, so I was going to die. And then it's a lonely battle. You have no safety net. You have no community. There is no community. There really isn't. How do you connect with other 1%ers. You don't. And the problem is, I'll tell you, the death sentence of most people fighting these radical cancers. You know what it is? Arrogance. Arrogance is a death sentence when it's fighting cancer. Absolute death sentence. Because everybody's got these stigmas in their head. You know, whether it be holistic, whether it be so-called Eastern medicine, Western medicine, everybody's got some. You got to have an open mind. Open your mind and walk this way, and open your mind and use your intuitive. I mean, I had a dream that summer. I don't play slot machines. I was in a casino, and I was broke, and I had a pocket full of change. I stuck it in this slot machine, and I punched it, and I'll never forget it. And this is in August. I got sick in October. This is late August, and I hit something, and I won $12.12. Now I know about 12.12. So I just punched the voucher thing, and the voucher kicked out. And I looked over, and there's this giant, like 50-foot tall slot machine. So I stuck the voucher in there, and I just went all in. Play all in, one pool. So I just hit that button. And I looked up, and this is a true story, and it went 4, 4, 44, and that ended up being my marker, which anything over 220 is radical as hell. And then these ugly, ugly icons showed up. They looked like clams. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. So it's 4, 4, and 4 clams. Now I know those were cancer tumors. And the machine started to kick. I went to 1,000, then I went to 10,000, then I went to 100,000, then it went to 1,000,000, then it went to 10 million, then it went to 100 million, and it was headed to billions. And I woke up. Most utopic dream I ever had in my life. Now, I got Danish bloodlines, so do both my doctors. So I told my doctor about my dream. Bimbo Peterson from Copenhagen. What a doctor. Put so much work in, because he says, Kevin, you're an anti-nuker. We can't lose you. You know, and then, of course, Vincent Hansen will talk to him about me. You know, Vincent says, Kevin, what you have is such a brutal, nasty cancer, and it's hard to survive, but I really believe in you. I've known you since you was a boy. I believe in you. You go in there and prove them wrong. I told him about that dream. He says, you know about Danish philosophy? Oh, yeah. Danish philosophy believes you cannot trick the intuitive mind, the strong mind, Albert Einstein. Is you hold on to that dream. Do you understand me? You hold on to that dream. They believe that deep, deep down inside, your mind's going to tell you what's going to happen to you. And I understand giving up. Because if deep, deep down inside, there's no way I can survive. And that has to be all the way. I mean, I had lots of doubts. Of course, when you have multiple doctors telling you, looking you right in the eyes. Misdiagnosis. I saw so many quacks. I saw a quack here at Ogden Regional Hospital told me that to go see my dentist when my heart valve fell in. And this was a few years later. And one of the nurses in there, she says, no. I could hear him arguing. She says, I was one of Kevin's nurses at LDS East 8. No, he's an AML. Look, he said, no, that. And this guy was such a prick. He threw me out of there, wouldn't even clean me up because I was uninsured. They wouldn't treat my heart valve because I was uninsured. So massive, ripped to shreds, which was their fault, the hospital's fault, but you can't sue them in Utah. So, and then of course, I mean, it's been a nightmare, one tooth after another. I mean, it's the same woman told me, she says, go get all your teeth pulled right now. Why? She says, they're going to go. Black tooth, it's called. They'll go one at a time. You're going to fight it, which she was right. Been fighting it I had another one pulled recently with no medical. Social Security fucks you. Fucking insurance companies fuck you. Fucking this is American. So people are still telling me how to survive. Walk this way. Trying to stay ahead of the freight train called cancer. So it's a lonely, lonely, lonely fight. Really lonely. And I didn't realize she was right We're the most hated people in the world. So, I want to get this up. Walk this way. Headed mall walking. Thank you everybody who supports historic work along the way. It's been a hell of a battle. Stay tuned.